People don't buy products. They buy a different version of themselves. Welcome to Sales for Nice People, the daily podcast for ethical entrepreneurs who want to learn how to sell more without having to go against your values. I am Martin Steller. I help nice people sell more. And this is the final episode of the Empathy Edge mini-series, where you learn how to really understand your buyer. And that quote by Steve Jobs, that people don't buy products, they buy a different version of themselves, is so rich. This is such an important notion. Because even when somebody buys something as simple as a stick of chewing gum, you might think that, well, there's no identity change involved in that. But think again, because now suddenly I am able to walk down the street with swagger chewing my gum. It's a tiny change, it's impermanent, but it is an identity change. Everything that people buy, every time that somebody buys, something changes in the way they see themselves in the world. And that ties in with yesterday's idea of the aspiration. What is the next version of themselves that your buyer is looking to step into? How are they going to change on a personal identity level when they buy from you and get this problem solved? So ask your buyer identity questions. Will buying this solution and getting this problem solved cause a change in your ability and authority to make decisions? If you solve this problem, will that enable you to solve further problems? That would be a great unlock. What upgrade in your buyer's business acumen is required in order to make the right decision? Because maybe they should buy, maybe they shouldn't, and it has to be the right decision. And for your buyer to make that right decision, you get to help them throughout the sales process in making that right decision. And that means that you, throughout the process, have helped them become a better decision maker. That is a nice upgrade to aspire to. Next question. In what way does your buyer's social status change when they buy from you and solve the problem? Because if suddenly we have this long-standing problem with our customer support that just really never worked the way it should, and we keep getting complaints and there are too many tickets, but I bought a solution and now customer support is fantastic and we're getting all kinds of rave reviews about our customer support. And customer support went from being a cost center to a profit center. Woohoo! Look at me go. I bought that thing. I made the decision to select this provider and get that problem solved, and now things are so much better. That means that your buyer now is being regarded in a very different way by the people in their world, by the people whose opinion matter to them. So what is going to change in the social status of your buyer when they solve this costly problem? Next one, final question. How does buying from you cause your buyer to upgrade their ownership over problems? Now we're having a real leadership conversation, because the best leader is the one who takes responsibility, who owns problems, who says, even if it is not something I created, I'm going to fix it. And if that means that they're going to own a problem that you can solve, and they're going to pay you for solving that problem, that now causes a level up in their self-perception of who they are as an operator, a decision maker, and a leader in the world. So if you look at these questions, the change in their decision-making authority, the upgrade in their business acumen that they need to experience in order to make the right decision, how their social status is going to change, and how they are going to change the way they see themselves when they become a better leader and take ownership over all problems. That is an identity upgrade that if you talk it through with your buyer and they get to see the next version of themselves, you give them a massively compelling reason to want your offer, because people don't buy products, they buy a new version of themselves. Now, have your buyer explain to you, have them see, don't tell them, have them understand by asking questions. Have them highlight for you what is that next version of themselves, and then ask them, is that something you want? You bet your buyer is going to say, yeah, that sounds really good. I want to become that new me. This is the final chapter of the Empathy Edge. You can find everything on salesflowcoach.app if you search for empathy. And meanwhile, I'll see you again tomorrow.